The three kinds of truth. Do you know about? Did I tell you this?
Sure. Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. I thought deeply about this, and this was my conclusion.
Okay.
The three kinds of truths. One of them is the truth, a personal truth. This is something is true to you, and no one can take it away from you. All right, Jesus is your Savior. In a free country, no one is going to take that from you. No one should take it from you. All right? Muhammad is the last prophet. These are personal truths that you hold dear. I don't have a problem with your personal truth.
Is that the right word for it?
I'm calling it that.
Beliefs.
We can call it beliefs, but they call it personal truths. Okay. I'm respecting. If you look at the word truth, the first websites are religious websites. Truth is a very important word within belief systems. And so I studied that, and I said, all right, I'm not going to tell them, give me the word truth, because you're not describing truth, you're describing belief. That's a fight I'm not interested or willing to have.
Okay.
Give them the truth. Look, there are whole posters with a cross, and it says, seek the truth in Jesus, right? So I'm not going to fight that. That's a personal truth. So another truth is a political truth. A political truth is something that becomes true in your head because it was repeated so many times and aligns with what you want. Okay? So, hearing Trump talk about Hillary Clinton, it was Crooked Hillary, right? So what's Hillary's first name? Crooked. Because it was repeated so many times. And our brain gets co-opted because we, in nature, in the Serengeti, if we see something repeating, it gives us a good indication that maybe it's real and we should be careful about it, or it's a reliable thing. In modern times, we have co-opted that feature of human evolution, and now we give you information that has no foundation in truth, but repeat it, and in your head it becomes true. It becomes true. Especially if you want it to be true. I call that a political truth, but there are other, the third truth is an objective truth. This is a truth established by the methods and tools of science and verified by the methods and tools of science. That is, once that is established, it doesn't later on become false.
Like the temperature of boiling water.
For example, under atmospheric conditions, okay? Like the fact that Earth orbits the sun, like the fact that Earth is round, the sun is hot, there's thermonuclear fusion in the core, that the universe is expanding, that the galaxy is rotating, that there are other galaxies, that there's such a thing as quantum physics, that there are things called electrons and protons and neutrons and atoms and carbon. There is a body of objective truths established by the methods and tools of science that when it is established, it is not later found to be false. You can expand on that truth. The truth can become deeper, but it doesn't become false. And these methods and tools have been in practice basically since Galileo and Sir Francis Bacon, around 1600. Before then, some people knew about this process that science goes through, but it wasn't widespread practice, not until about 1600. So if you're going to say, you can see the responses in here. Scientists told us the Earth was flat. That was before 1600. Scientists used to, I'd say, we used to bleed you with leeches, okay? Well, let's go back to when we did that. All right, this would be biologists doing it, and what was the state of research at the time? That was a frontier thing they were doing. It wasn't verified. It was a hypothesis that they were acting on, okay? So yeah, if the bleeding edge of science, most of that will turn out to be wrong. Most of it. It's when it gets tested. And the press gets the single scientific result that's kind of intriguing and interesting, and they report it as a new scientific truth because it was a scientific study, especially if it comes from a place like Harvard, where they'll put that up in the front sentence without saying, we don't know if this is actually true, we need verification from other studies. They don't say that typically, or that's later on in the article. So that's how you can go from, cholesterol is good for you. No, cholesterol is bad for you. No, cholesterol is good for you. No, cholesterol is bad for you. That it was an unresolved research result. But you cited one research result that was consistent with your own desires, and that became your new truth. That's, in a way, a political truth if it's repeated enough. But then you find it's not that. It's because it's still an actively researched frontier.